A very good morning to everyone present here. Our guiding force and mentor, respected Joshi sir, the Executive Director of Seva Sadan Section School, our school principal, Padmaja Marathi ma'am, teachers of Little Laureates Kindergarten and Seva Sadan Section School, parents as well as students who have joined virtually through Facebook. We welcome you all. I wish you all a very happy Republic Day. The Republic Day that we observe every year is definitely auspicious. Every citizen of India should therefore behave in such a way that our nation feels proud of every such citizen. Therefore, I urge everyone to make all the rest of the days of the year auspicious ones. Being living in a democratic republic, we have freedom in mind, faith in words, pride in our heart, and patriotism in our souls. In these difficult times of corona pandemic, we have once again proved that we are one and can fight any hardship together. The doctors, nurses, and other medical personnel, police personnel, to name a few, are working day and night as frontline workers to fight against this deadly virus. And moreover, India has already started the world's biggest COVID vaccination program. The feeling of patriotism is instilled in us. This shows our unity in diversity, and we are proud that we are Indians. I request respected Joshi sir to unfurl the national tricolor. कुछ नशा तिरंगे की आन का है, कुछ नशा मातृभूमि की शान का है। हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा, नशा ये हिंदुस्तान के सम्मान का है।
Republic Day is indeed a proud day for every Indian. This day reminds us that we should contribute in building our country a noble mansion, where all her children can dwell with peace and happiness. So let's observe this day with enthusiasm and patriotic fervor. हम सभी अपने देश की एकता के रखवाले हैं, भारत की गौरव के सूत्रधार हैं। यह हमारा कर्तव्य है कि हम तन मन धन से इस धरोहर को संभाल कर रखें। हमारा देश प्राकृतिक संपदा से परिपूर्ण है। देश की एकता और अखंडता बनाए रखना प्रत्येक नागरिक का कर्तव्य है। आइए हम देशभक्ति के संगीतमय प्रवाह में आपको लिए चलते हैं। हमारे विद्यालय की शिक्षिकाओं द्वारा प्रस्तुत है आपके समक्ष एक समूह गान, जिसके बोल हैं, धरती सुनहरी लागे माँ तेरी धरती सुनहरी लागे।
धरती सुनहरी लागे माँ खुशियों से घिरा हमारा देश। भारत मेरा भारत, भारत प्यारा भारत, गंगा बहती है जहाँ, हिमालय खड़ा है जहाँ, वो प्यारा देश है मेरा देश, रंगों से भरा हमारा देश। वो प्यारा देश है मेरा देश, रंगों से भरा हमारा देश। वो प्यारा देश है मेरा देश, खुशियों से भरा हमारा देश।
A melodious treat. Speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel. But we must always have reasons for speech. Today, as we observe this great day, let's hear the views of one of our colleagues, Mrs. Mahashweta Dantale.
Invited dignitaries, Executive Director Seva Sadan Saksham, S.N. Joshi sir, members of the Seva Sadan Society, Principal Seva Sadan Saksham, Mrs. Pajmada Marathe ma'am, colleagues, parents, dear students and all those who have joined us virtually, a very good morning to you all. Saluting India, where each bud blooms in its true color, where each day is a celebration of unity, harmony and synthesis. Compliments to all on the 72nd Republic Day. For India, the transition from a British colony to a sovereign, secular and democratic nation was a long one. From conceptualization of the dream in 1930 to the clarion call of Purna Swaraj at the Lahore Convention to the actual realization in 1950, 72 years back, the Constitution came into effect amidst the resounding of 21 gun salute, giving the citizens of India the power to govern themselves. Today, India is a rising superpower with resilient economy, with human resources as its greatest strength. The world looks at us with awe. Modern day India represents the largest democratic nation in the world with seamless picture of human unity in diversity unparalleled anywhere else in the world. Today, we are looked upon as the fastest developing nation too. Our nation was held in high esteem because the citizens possessed high values, integrity, virtues, godliness, and much, much more. Such qualities were practiced and passed down from one generation to another as heritage. But somewhere down the line, the Britishers replaced these attributes by self-centeredness, jealousy, lethargy, indiscipline, suspicions, and self-defeating ideologies, which still lingers on in our social order. Why? What's gone wrong? Little or no communication between the parents and the children. Earlier, the children were eager to tell as much as the parents were eager to listen. There was communication, exchange of views and expressions. Such exchanges tightened the emotional bonding between the two groups. Now, the child is still eager to tell the parents about his day-to-day affairs, but listening to him, the parents have something more important to do, sadly. Gradually, communication stops, making the child self-centered, impatient individual with a low emotional quotient, EQ. Spoon feeding has replaced guidance. Once, a man was watching a beautiful tiny caterpillar moving on soft leaves and then encasing itself in a cocoon. Days went by. The tiny caterpillar then one day pushed its head out of the cocoon. The man was very curious. The man saw the insect pushing out its head with great effort, and then slowly after the head, two small wings appeared. The man's heart pained to see the struggle. The man wanted to help, so he cut the cocoon and let the insect out. To his horror, what came out of the pupa was a blob with tiny wings, which could not adjust to the environment around it. Had the butterfly squeezed through, the energy and the blood from the body would have pumped into the wings, thus making it capable to face the world. We have to take the children up to a certain point of awareness and knowledge, and then left to be squeezed through and explore on their own with a supporting hand of guidance and not spoon feed. As an excessive spoon feeding makes a child dependent, indecisive adult who is impatient, emotional and cannot think on his own. More innovations, more limitations and no innovations. We are developing a herd mentality and putting our children through the rat race. Children are being imposed with different courses, curriculums, just because the rest of the world is pursuing it. Parents tend to forget that every child has his or her own set of interests, abilities and muses. Instead of joining the rat race and frustrating the child in the process, the interest areas of the child should be sought and developed. These interest areas later turn into hobbies and take the shape of a profession. So, a profession is not just work, it is creativity and happiness. We are realizing and reintroducing ourselves to the world when we follow our dreams as professions. A honeybee who gets robbed of its honey still continues to make the nectar without feeling bad for the loss. It knows they can flinch the honey, but not its ability to make the honey from the flowers. Parents, do not impose your ambitions, dreams, your fears into your child. Failures are not the end, but they are just learning experiences. Encourage your child to be different, to be innovative. Be a support to your child's out-of-the-box thinking abilities and qualities. Inherent discipline and accountability and willingness to share. Hasn't the year gone by left us with significant learnings? In all our flights of arrogance, success, monetary power and gains, we had ignored the most important aspect of our existence, and that was respecting nature, health, both physical and mental, living a disciplined way of life. These and many more such important factors had facilitated the tiniest of the microbe to make us come back to reality. We have enclosed ourselves in a bubble of self, no dependency, no accountability, and no sharing, and unfortunately, passing on the same to our offspring. Are we not making a selfish individual for tomorrow? The right approach would be to sensitize the child to be accountable for their actions and positions. This way, we will give a sensitive and sensible citizen to the society of tomorrow. We, both parents and teachers, are responsible for nurturing and developing the new generation. Let us give our society smart, intelligent, sensitive, responsible individual who in turn will develop a smart, sensitive, responsible society. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, ma'am, for your thoughts. Request our director, sir, to express his views and guide us.
Please be seated. A very good morning to all those of my colleagues here present and the parents and children who are not present, but we have arranged a system by which they can witness this program. Already we have a beautiful morning today, and the atmosphere here is so enlivening that we feel very happy. My colleague Mahashweta has already informed you about everything. I was wondering, what will I speak after this? She has outlined what is expected from Indian populace. If that message reaches our students, who are not only Sevasadan Section School students, but students of complete India, then I think we do have a very positive outlook towards our country, India. Every time I hear that Republic Day is celebrated, Independence Day is celebrated, we got something. We achieved something. Who put their all efforts in that achievement? We can't even remember their names, but we remember their deeds. If Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, was not there, this struggle wouldn't have been possible. He said, Satyameva Jayate, let the truth prevail always. He said, Satyagraha. We should be demanding always the truthfulness. Unfortunately, Satyagraha has become a chalwal, hartal, sampa. Destroy your own country's buildings and disturb the whole society. We are independent for such a long time, since 1947, and nation still is fighting with China and Pakistan with guns. But yet the dispute is not over. The world provided UNO, United Nations Organization, for all such things where disputes are there. But every day we hear, we listen, we read that some bomb was dropped somewhere. Innocents are dying. every day. My question is, if the nations are republics, then have they understood the meaning of the word republic? Republic tells you it's my nation. But it doesn't tell you that it is only yours and not others. So let's say it's the nation of everyone, and all the nations in the world are for everyone. If we desire to have peace, we can have peace. If we desire not to have it, then there is no end to it. I'll not enter into the politics part of it, but I'll urge the entire world to think on it, that do I need peace? And peace means not silence. Peace means your mental peace. Peace means, or wealthiness means, that everything I will have, others will not have it. That would not be possible. And it shouldn't be. As our 5 fingers of the hand are different, but each one has a role to play, then only our hand is complete. In that way, in a society, every individual is important. Nobody can be enslaved. We got independence, and I always say, white-skinned people, they have left us, but non-white-skinned people have entered. Slavery has not gone. We still demand respect, which is not demanded, but it is commanded. You should look into yourself to find out how good or not good I am. I will not use the word bad. There is nothing right in the world, nothing wrong in the world. Similarly, nothing is bad. It is your thinking that gives you that idea that I am supreme, others are not. Why go for the supremacy? Let's respect each other, even our children. I have seen parents, grandparents telling children, at our times it was not like this. But why remind them of your times? Let them think of their own times. As very rightly Mahashoda said, there is no communication between parents and children at different levels of their growth. Mind you, child needs the mother only for first 18 months after his birth, because he can't speak, he doesn't have teeth, he can't walk, and he is dependent on mother for the milk. But as it grows, the child develops all these faculties. He can express, he can talk, he can eat his own food. And that is the time from where the parents must understand how to nurture that child. It is easy to become a mother or a father, but it is very difficult to develop that child into a very respectful citizen of whom all of us are proud of. As the child grows, 3 to 6 years of age, the impressionist mind, the child should be given that time and opportunity to know, to realize, who am I? How am I? Where am I? And as child enters the formal education age of 6, the teachers take over. It doesn't mean parents have left. Our parents should leave. But it's the two hands of teachers and parents which will allow the child to discover himself. Everybody can't be an engineer. Everybody can't be an IITian. But something or the other is inherent in that child. He has inherited something. Let that child know what is the best in me. What should I do in my life? Instead of misguiding that child that you become this or you become that. The Independence Day or independence and the Republic, these are two different things. Independence gave us democracy. How many of us understand what is democracy? Churchill has said that you don't deserve the independence or democracy. If we see the last 72 or more years of our country, we will see and realize that Churchill has won. We haven't learned the meaning of the word democracy. Democracy means equality. Everyone is equal. There is no need to salute him all the while. But take an oath to ourselves, oneself, that I will perform my duties properly. Duties are towards somebody, and work is only for yourself. An ordinary laborer, he does work of 8 hours and he gets paid for that. He doesn't have anything to do with you. He is concerned with his money. That is work. And duty means I will bring about some change. Not only in myself, but in my neighborhood, in my environment. In a school, we have 1,000 students or even more. And all my colleagues, whether they are teaching colleagues, non-teaching colleagues, class D colleagues, whatever it may be, they all contribute by performing their duties towards the development of this child. As the child grows and comes to adolescence, child has his own ideas. Who am I? I am like this. I shall be like that. We call it stubbornness. And there the child needs the maximum help of counseling, psychological help. And gradually the child comes out of adolescence and becomes an adult. Adult is the one who can take his or her own decisions. I'll live my life like this. And unless we allow that child to develop in this particular thinking process, the child will not become the most fittest person in a society. All negative thinking will not go. The first point of negative thinking is the fear of failure. I'll fail. And at that time, supposing advice doesn't come in proper way, this idea roots in the mind of the child that I am not going to be successful in my world, in my life. This is the biggest drawback of our society today. In fact, whole world, everyone is afraid of failure. So long ago, I had said to everyone in my last 50 years of life that failure is no crime. Not to attempt is crime. Discouraging the attempt, blaming the child for failure, or for anybody for that, will not accomplish anything. We should look after the accomplishments. Who doesn't fail? And why should we be afraid of failure? If we get correct guidance, and secondly, if we have got correct mindset, we can improve upon everything that we do, and gradually you will find that mental satisfaction. Whether others are worried about your satisfaction or not, that is not important. Are you happy? When you perform your duties in the classroom, during examinations, I feel very sorry. In the last several years, our Indian education system has not changed as it should have changed. I understand we have 130 crores of population. It's not easy. As in Western countries, hardly 1 or 2% of population gets chance to go for higher studies. Why? Because their attitude and aptitude is tested. Why it can't be done here? This needs to be probed. Our country is agricultural. How many agricultural schools are there? We are following the traditional pattern of agriculture. I understand, we are dependent on nature. The vagaries of rain in the last few years has definitely pushed us back. But that is, at the moment at least, is not our hands. But if we decide that environment protection is also my first duty, then I think to a large extent we can change our country. We do need industries, no doubt, but we need food. 130 crores of people, they need food. And that food should be of quality, and that's why I feel in education, the important things like veterinary sciences, agriculture sciences, we have a huge seashore right from Calcutta to Dwarka, but how many pisciculture universities are there? So I think the planners, initially we had 5 years plans. Now what has happened to that we don't know. Then in so many years, why our country is still at the bottom? Why our literacy level is so poor? We are going for smartphones, smart cities, digitalization, everything. But can everybody handle the smartphones? Do they understand? And if very few technocrats, they know that magic, others will have to depend on them. This dependence will create a vacuum. And the same thing will come, I am supreme, you must obey me, whether I am right or wrong. This scenario has to change. And that's why I think our first priority should be, in the remotest of remote villages, everyone should be literate, everyone should know. And English alone will not do, the mother tongues must take the lead. The new education policy is emphasizing on that. But I am not predicting negatively, but we hope that let us have more ITIs than IITs. We need skilled manpower. Gandhiji had said, basic education system is most important in our country. Every village must have every facility. I had been abroad, I saw what is present in London is also present in a small village in England. That was way back in 77. Today I don't know what must be the condition. Must be very good. We can do it here. So, I can endlessly speak, but that is not important. What I expect, what I want, that let's understand what is the Constitution of India. It is put on a board in several places, school, colleges, but everybody ignores it. Nobody looks at it. Equality, truthfulness, honesty, obedience, giving respect to each other, and not thinking this is not my work. Every work is yours. If we can bring in this particular mindset and practice it, then I think we are really a republic, sovereign country. Wishing you all, because this is just January, not yet over, wishing you all a very happy new year and expecting a metamorphosis type of change in your attitude, behavior and outlook. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
To enhance interaction and promote mutual understanding between people of different states, the foundation of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat was laid down by our Honorable Prime Minister. The students of Seva Sadan Saksham School actively participated in Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat program. As a part of this initiative, our students have created a video which showcases the unity in diversity of our great nation, entwined with musical pieces and artwork based on 26th January. Let's rededicate ourselves to build a new India, an India that is united in thoughts, not divided by religion and language, an India that is united in seeking new opportunities for growth, not divided by disparities, an India that is caring and inclusive. In our progress lies the progress of the nation. Our fortunes and our nature's fortune are interrelated. I would like to say a few lines of John Kennedy. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Now I request Jyotsna ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
A very good morning to our respected Executive Director Sir, Principal Ma'am, teachers, dear students and everyone present virtually. On behalf of Seva Sadan Saksham School, I propose the vote of thanks. My heartfelt gratitude to our Executive Director S.M. Joshi Sir for his support and guidance. Sir, your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. I also thank members of Seva Sadan Society, our mentors and well-wishers for supporting us and being with us. A special mention to our respected Principal Padmaja Marathi ma'am for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and for always being our pillar of strength and motivation. I mention my deepest sense of appreciation and place on record my hearty thanks to the choir group, the speaker, the compeers, the teaching and non-teaching staff for their efforts for the event. I am also obligated to the parents present here virtually. Your participation and suggestions always help us. Last but not least, I would like to thank our budding rock stars for their art and solo instrumental performances and their contribution to the Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat activity that made this event joyful. Your days of hard work were evident in your acts. I thank all the students for showing their interest in the program. I once again thank everyone for making this program successful. Thank you very much for joining this event. Wear mask, wash your hands regularly, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
Man has been using music and songs as a means to express the feelings. From ages, songs have the power to arouse patriotic feelings. The song Vande Mataram, composed in Sanskrit by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, was a source of inspiration to the people in the struggle for freedom. On 24 January 1950, the Constituent Assembly of India has adopted Vande Mataram as our national song. Now let's listen this beautiful song from our colleagues. I would like to say, let us not pass this Republic Day as any other holiday. Instead, look within and think that whether we are fulfilling our fundamental duties or not. Let's pledge today to dedicate our every action, every day, every breath for the betterment of the nation. This Republic Day, everyone should take the commitment that we would create a nation that we would like to live in. We would create a nation that we would be proud to pass on to our future generations. My dear friends, this is the crucial time. Our country needs us the most. Together, we can fight against corruption. Together, we can build our nation. Together, we can make a difference. Let's make India the golden bird once again. Thank you. Thank you.